திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் வரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய், தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனியானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். பொய்கண்டார்கான புனிதமெனும் மத்துவித மெய்கண்ட நாதன் அருள் மேவுநாள் என்னாலும். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரை எந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் பண்ணுரு ஆனாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மீவிய பரணே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மீவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலைய மன்னா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெரும் கருணையினாலே நம்முடைய அன்பிற்குரிய சரவணன் தம்பதியினருடைய பெரும் முயற்சியினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக த பிலாசபி ஆஃப் சைவ சித்தாந்தம் என்கிற தலைப்பில் ஆங்கிலத்திலே சைவ சித்தாந்தத்தினுடைய அடிப்படை உண்மைகளை சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறார். We have been discussing the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham on three main topics. The first one is on soul. We discussed the details about the characteristics of the soul and the association of soul with the second entity called the Almighty. Now, the third entity, the bondage, which is considered to be an obstacle between the soul and the Almighty, because the soul is in search of joy, everlasting joy, and the Almighty is ready to deliver the same, but the transaction was not on because there was a blockage at the time of beginning, that is called Anavam. Subsequently, two more bondages, two more obstacles have been added to the original Anavam. The bondages, they are classified as Anavam, Mayai and Kanmam. Anavam is nothing but darkness, ignorance, impurity, whatever you call. Anavam is the main blockage or main obstacle which, as a matter of fact, the reason for the impurity of the wisdom of the soul. By nature, the soul should be active, it should perform, but it was inactive in the darkness. It was brought to action by adding these two more impurities, namely Kanmamalam and Mayamalam. Mayamalam is nothing but an energy out of which the God has given us the tools. See, the soul's wisdom was inactive due to the impurity, Anavam. God decided to bring the soul to action, to make it active. If it is not self-starting, then there should be an artificial method of bringing it to the active state. So he has provided the infrastructures to trigger the soul, and the soul's wisdom is now becoming slightly active, even though it is not fully active, it is slightly active. Using the infrastructure, the soul is developing desires, and it also develops the planning skill, and again it is able to fulfill its desire because of its planning. So the three stages: desire, Ichha Shakti, planning, that is called Jnanam. The third one is the execution or the completion of the fulfilling of the desire. So out of Maya Manam, God has provided us some tools which are purely temporary, and they also don't last long because of its natural quality. So Maya Manam is only a temporary arrangement God has provided to get the purification of the wisdom of the soul. The main target is the purification of the wisdom, and it is to be liberated from the clutches of the Anavam, the darkness. Okay, now how God is planning? What is His plan? He is giving infrastructure, He is giving tools, and He is expecting the soul to fulfill its desire, to plan on its own way. The soul plans on its own way. It is unique. So to fulfill their desire, the souls are planning to fulfill their desires in so many ways. For example, if you wish to be rich, if you want to be rich, what you try to do is the planning of the souls are not the same. Some souls think that they should work hard, they should learn well, they should work hard, and they should earn, and they should become rich. Some think that it will take some time to get richer like this. So instead of that, why don't we cheat the fellows who are having money? The same aim to become rich is the same aim for the soul. But the planning of the souls are different because of the maturity of the wisdom of the soul. Some think that if we earn by cheating others, it doesn't matter. We are getting money, that's all. We are getting money, we are out of trouble, and we want to spend the money as we like. So that is the motto. But some souls think it should not be done like that. We should not earn like this. We should earn in a righteous manner. We should be afraid of good and evil. Like that, some souls are thinking. Why? For the same reason, the planning are different. It is because the maturity of the souls are different. The way they approach, it's also different from soul to soul. Okay, so so God decides, since the planning, the desire may be same for all the souls, but the planning and the execution definitely are different from soul to soul. Some soul plans one way, another soul plans in another way. So God provides the tools, and He also gives the circumstantial benefits. The souls are offered not only the tools, but are also the chances. The chances are being availed by the soul, and they use the tools in accordance to their personal likes and dislikes. So According to the personal likes and dislikes, they are using the tools, and they are availing the opportunities and chances. So the availability of chances, it is called Mula Kanvam or Kanvam. How you are being offered the chances. See, somebody is given a chance to steal, to cheat. But all of them are not availing the chances, and they are not cheating, they are not stealing. Some people do that. Why? Because God knows by availing the opportunity, the souls are executing and they are performing, and because of their deeds, they are getting the results, yield. They enjoy the yield. Whether it is good or bad, definitely without fail, there is no failure in this project. There is no failure on the side of God. Definitely, any misconduct or any good conduct, they are suitably rewarded or punished by the Almighty. See, unless otherwise, if we have the concept of intervention of God, if there is no concept of intervention of God in our actions, then everything will go into confusion and chaos. See, souls are doing so many things. I am doing so many things. Another soul is doing so many things. All souls are performing in so many ways, in so many things. If you think that there is nobody else to intervene, there is no intervention between these actions, means it ends up in chaos and confusion. So the people who claim that non-existence of God, people who claim the non-existence of the Almighty, they fail to explain how the performances, how the actions are guarded, and how the yields are properly fed to the performer. See, I perform something, then the yield should be definitely fed back to me, isn't it? I am supposed to take the yield. If there is nobody to intervene, if there is nobody to take care of these actions, if there is nobody to judge, if there is nobody else to take care of all these things, if the people claim that there is no God at all, they say there is nobody to intervene in the actions of the souls. Definitely there should be somebody to intervene. Is it not? See, the tools are offered, the chances are offered, and if the performances are not guarded, then the concept itself is faulty. Concept itself is faulty. See, the students are given classrooms, the students are given books, the students are asked to study, and they say there is nobody to intervene in the students' action. Think of the school. Students are there. They are offered books. They are asked to go through the books. They are asked to get knowledge out of the books. And there is nobody to guide, or there is nobody to intervene. You just think of the situation. What do you think? What do you think of the situation? It ends up in confusion. If you enter into the classroom, the students will be very pious, very disciplined. They will be sitting, they will be referring books, they will be not talking loudly, they will be hushing. All these things you can see. And you can definitely see there should be a master inside the classroom. Just think of the situation. The bell goes, the master goes out. What happens in the classroom? Oh, here yelling and jumping and all the things are going on in the classroom because there is no master. See, if the people say that there is no God, there is no master in this world, everybody claims that I am the king of this universe. எல்லோரும் இந்நாட்டு திருடர். It will end up like that. Is it not? Yeah, unless otherwise there is the existence of God. You can't think of a society of discipline. You can't think of a society of discipline. At least the society is at least is disciplined to a certain extent because the majority of the people are afraid of the Almighty. They agree there is an Almighty. That is why there is discipline. If the majority think that there is no God, there is no Almighty, then you think of the society, how the people will be there. So they will be ruled. Okay, so if you just think of a situation where there is no God to intervene in the actions of soul, then it is a situation of chaos and confusion. So we must come to the conclusion logically that even though we are given infrastructure, tools, even though we are given chances, there should be somebody to monitor. Sir, some injustice has been done to me. Some injustice and be caused to me. I was affected. Where can I go and submit? You just think of the situation. There should be somebody, isn't it, to go and complain about the human beings. Okay, so the basic idea is your actions are monitored. Your actions are monitored. That is why goods and bads are suitably rewarded or punished. The concept itself, the God is there to correct. What is the point in rewarding and what is the point in punishing? God has nothing to any personal likes or dislikes. He is not subject to any personal likes and dislikes. Why is he doing? The student is failed. Some students are offered the maximum mark. Why? The good student is rewarded. The dull student, the irregular student is punished because it is expected that the dull student should get himself corrected. It's only a feedback factor. So likewise, first of all, we must have in mind, not only we, everybody should remember, should register, should not forget that my actions are monitored. Our Appaswami says, எழுதும் கீழ்கணக்கு இன்னம்பரீசனே. So the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham pivots on the fact that all actions of souls never go unnoticed. Nothing goes unnoticed. All of them are recorded, registered. And then immediately the suitable action is being taken as as a result of the action. So that is why the action is in three forms. The first form is when we actually perform. When we actually perform it, it is called Thulam. When we actually perform, it will be over, is it not? I am doing something, it will be over. It's over. Once it has been done means done. That's all. I have stolen a book from one of my friends. Let me say. My friend doesn't know that I have done that. I just stole the book. If I have stolen the book, if my friend is unable to notice or note down, or if he is not able to find out, at least at the time of the loss of book, then who will monitor? Who else will register? It has to be registered and it has to be suitably, the action should be suitably rewarded, be suitably punished, rather, if it is a misconduct, rather it is to be punished. Okay, it is to be punished, but who will punish? Action is over. I did that stealing already. Book is lost. The owner of the book suffered. What is the result of the suffering? Who will compensate? So, again and again, the whole problem comes back to the existence of God, the Almighty. So, whenever I say that each and every action is having a result, if the result is to be offered, without bias, means Almighty is the only person who will not be benefited or who will not be affected by offering such yields to the performer. We are discussing about the bondage, the third chapter. Under the topic bondage, we already discussed the details of Maya Malam. Now we are focusing on Kanma Malam. We are focusing our attention, we are focusing on our discussion on Kanma Malam. Kanma Malam means, what does it mean? Kanma Malam means the results of your likes and dislikes. That's all. Kanma Malam is nothing but action, reaction, all those things come only result of all these things. If you want to crudely say, if you want to crudely define, if you want to define what is Kanma Malam means, it is the result of your likes and dislikes. If you like, you have a result. If you dislike, again you have a result. The only thing is, if you like, you have to suffer the result of the like. You have to suffer the result of the dislike. So the only solution to come out of this cycle, the vicious cycle, why we call it as a vicious cycle? Because you do not know how to come out of that. You have been caught over there. You are going on in the cycle. You are taking your birth because of your actions. You are suffering, again getting into birth. So the cycle is going on without an end. So in this cycle, how to get detached, that is our motto. We have to get detached from the cycle, means we have to stop our births and deaths. If you have a birth, you have a death. If you have a like, you have a yield. If you have a dislike, definitely you have a result, yield. If you don't want to reap any yield, I don't want any yield of my deeds, means don't have like, don't have dislike. Do anything. Do anything. So please understand, what you do not bring the yield to you. What you like or dislike, that brings the result to you. Again and again, the likes and dislikes matter. It matters. But I have told you, I have explained this very easily. But is it simple that we can come out of this likes and dislikes? No, not at all. It's very difficult. You have to practice and practice and practice to get out of the likes and dislikes vicious cycle. Every single blessed minute you either give out likes or dislikes. Every single minute. What about the last 5 minutes? I was shedding hatred towards somebody. So the likes and dislikes count everything, and it matters everything, and we have to practice ourselves. We have to take a very, very, very difficult practicing to get out of the likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes are called the ahamiyam. The registration of the yields, pavam and punyam is called sanjidam. When it actually comes into effect, you are enjoying or suffering, it comes into the effect. It's called praratham. So your deed, your likes and dislikes, either they are in the form of likes and dislikes, whether they are in the form of good and evil, or they may be in the form of joy and suffering. So it takes three forms. You are always meeting with your deed in any one of these forms. You are always doing some deeds. Of course, you are doing some actions. You are getting the result of the action. You are suffering, and you are again doing. All these things are going on 16 hours a day. What about the balance 8 hours? You take a nap. So, the time you don't get attached to the human infrastructure system, you are not in the cycle of the Vinay Sudarchi. It is called the Vinay Sudarchi, the cycle of action, cycle of deed. So, I want to emphasize that if we want to get out of the kanmamalam, if we want to get out of likes and dislikes, then we should practice very, very hardly. We must take the practicing not lightly, but very seriously. We have to take action to balance our likes and dislikes. It is called the balance of likes and dislikes. It is called Irvinai Oppu. Irvinai Oppu is nothing but that your likes and dislikes are balanced. What do you mean by balanced likes and dislikes? Balanced likes and dislikes means if I like 5 items, I will dislike 5 items. So it will get balanced. Do you think that such arithmetic will work? No, not at all. Balancing is You don't have like over anything, and at the same time, you don't dislike anything. You don't dislike anything. You don't show hatred towards anything. It's very difficult, of course. So, God expects by the time the soul comes to this balancing, when it comes to the balancing, God also helps the soul to get it relieved from the Maya Malam. He offered the Maya Malam. He offered the platform for likes and dislikes. Then why he should help to remove these two? What is the purpose? He only gave the Maya Malam, isn't it? He only caused the soul to get attached to the Maya Malam. He only caused the soul to get attached to the Kanma Malam. Now he is helping the soul to get out of this Kanmam and Maya Malam. Why he is attaching it and then tries to help the soul to get out of it? There should be some meaning in it, isn't it? Yes. See, the refining of the likes and dislikes, personal likes and dislikes, I am meaning. I have likes and dislikes. Every minute, every single blessed minute, I have likes and dislikes. I like that, I like this, I dislike that, I don't like that, I don't want this. Don't tell me the name of it. I am just hating it. All these things are coming to us and they take the form of action, willing. Okay, now we have been discussing the question why the Almighty attached to the Maya Malam and Kanma Malam to the soul, and then again he is expecting the soul to come out of it and helping the soul to actually wither out from the Maya Malam, Kanma Malam. Why he should do that? Why he should do that? You just think of one important thing. Why all this project? What is the main aim of the project? Total project. What is the aim of the God's project? Means to get the soul out of Vanava Malam. The soul's wisdom is masked, is polluted, is what we call it's made impure with the mixing of Anava Malam. Can we call it as mixing? No, it's not a mixing. It is beyond mixing. It's very difficult to separate the Anavam from human wisdom. It seems to be there always, waiting for the soul, to get caught in 100%. So the Almighty, what he thinks is, by making the souls to be active, if the souls try to act, and if the souls understand that the whole problem starts with the likes and dislikes, the first action the soul actually did was when it was offered Kanma Malam. It was caused by the likes and dislikes of the particular soul. So everything points to the single cause, likes and dislikes of the soul. So if the soul is being helped to get out of this event, tragic characteristics of having likes and dislikes, then God sees the probability of the Anava Malam, his clutches slowly is being removed. If I have no likes, no dislikes, means I can see that my wisdom seems to be a little clear. If I don't have likes, if I don't have dislikes, I start feeling that my wisdom, my basic wisdom, My inherent wisdom. See, wisdom is inherent in the soul. It is being possessed by the soul. It is inseparable. Soul and wisdom. Soul is known as the wisdom. ஆன்மாவே அறிவு. அறிவு ரூபமானது. அறிவுங்கிறது it is inherently is being possessed by the soul. You understand? Why I am stressing it? Because it is inseparable from the soul. So, whenever the soul is away from its likes and dislikes, it feels the wisdom to be more clear. So, the project is going on to make the soul to get out of its likes and dislikes. If it gets out of the likes and dislikes, then the domination of the anavam in the in the soul's wisdom is slowly removed. The domination is getting diminished. It is getting reduced. You just check up yourself. For a certain period, you assume yourself that you are not going to like anything or you are not going to dislike anything. Let us take a small project. Is it correct? What mathematician will do, no? Mathematician, if they want to study a curve, a pattern, a curve, what they will do is, they will take a small portion of the curve. They will take a small portion of the curve. They will apply a limits. They will apply limits and they will study the behavior. That is the usual tactics they are adopting. See, all characteristics are expressed in the pattern of curves. All all characteristics can be expressed in the pattern of curves. Not uniform curves, of course. Some, for example, if you take my likes and dislikes curve, it will be very, what do you say, very, very interesting to see the curve. If you say that my mood as a curve, I am having a mood, isn't that? Every minute my mood is changing, every hour, every 15 minutes or every hour. Sometimes I am very happy, sometimes I am very depressed, sometimes I am chalta, sometimes I don't care, sometimes I care very much. All these things are there. Take a curve. Take a curve. God only knows the curve pattern. Nobody else. He knows the curve pattern of every soul. Okay. If you take a portion of the curve and study the characteristics, it may be extrapolated for the entire curve. That is what the mathematicians are doing. Of course, the rule applies for uniform curves. Some uniform curves can be studied and the equation of the curve may be also derived. That is a technique mathematicians are adopting. Let us say that I want to take a portion of my curve and study. You just take a limit, you apply limits. What limits? You take time t is equal to 0 to t is equal to t1. Let us say today from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I am not going to like anything, I am not going to dislike anything. 1 hour. You just try. 1 hour is impossible. You are murmuring, I understand. Okay, let us take half an hour. Half an hour is too much, you feel. Why don't we go for 15 minutes? Okay, we will settle down with the 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I will not have any likes, I will not have any dislikes. You understand? The moment you decide to take such an experiment, a man will come to you and say, I am going to reward you with 10 lakhs. Why don't you take it? Hey Baba, just now I decided I will not like anything. Now you are offering. I don't like, take back the money. Will you say? Okay, I will shift the limits. Sometime, night time. Let me take the money. See, the common man is not out of likes and dislikes. The whole life is framed out of likes and dislikes. That is called ahamyam. We are reaping out the yield of the past deeds, but at the same time, we are always doing, when we are in Sakram, Madhyalavati Sakram, we are always performing. We are performer. I do not know whether a good performer or a bad performer, but we are a performer. So, the ahamyam, the likes and dislikes, there we stand. Likes and dislikes. Very beautifully explained the vicious cycle, the Vinay cycle. So, God sees that if the soul is taught, is trained to make its likes and dislikes balanced, then the anavam, the most vulnerable culprit, he goes away from the wisdom. That is why he is offering so much of tools, expects us to perform so many things and to report there so many results, and he expects our reaction to balance our likes and dislikes. If you see great people, our great scientists, saints, if you just see their performances, if you just look at them, they will say, I don't have like or dislike for anything. So it is a very, very keen point or key point in getting out of the cycle of birth and death. If you want to come out of birth and death, then have your likes and dislikes balanced. It's very difficult, of course. I have to say that it is not easy. But since it is difficult, God expects a longer period, offers a longer period for getting the favorable result. We have taken hundreds and hundreds, no. Thousands and thousands, no. Lakhs and lakhs of births we have taken. We have taken lakhs and lakhs of births. What reformation, what refinement we have seen, God only knows. After taking so many births, whether the soul has improved in its wisdom, whether the soul's wisdom has cleared off the anava malam at least a little. God only knows. God only knows. Okay. Now, as far as Kanva Malam is concerned, we have seen that it consists of three parts: Ahamyam, Sanchitam, Praratham. Ahamyam, the point where the whole Kanva Malam starts. Ahamyam, likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes, personal likes and dislikes. And there, from there, it goes to the, because of our personal likes and dislikes, you are performing, you are doing so many things. And the results, the yields are registered as documents. So, if you want to register the actions and register the results, then you must be watching continuously, is it not? Continuously you should be watched. Every single minute is watched. Who can watch you every single blessed second? Who can watch? Because when likes and dislikes, how they are done? They are done by your language. They are done by your actions. They are done by your thoughts. வினை மனம் மொழி மெய் மூன்று வகையாலும் செய்யப்படுகிறது. Your likes and dislikes by thoughts, by your language. By language means talking. By your language and by your actions, physical actions. The actions result in good and bad. Even the thoughts are taken into account. Then there should be somebody to watch your actions, to watch your language, to watch your thoughts. Suppose somebody to watch your actions. Okay, one security guard. See, the fellow is doing the work during the working hours, whether he is trying to sleep. Watch over. You can put a guard. You cannot put a man, a guard, and ask him, see that he always thinks about God. Let him not think about anything else. Watch it and tell me. Can you post a person like that? Who can watch over the thoughts? You can watch over the actions. You can watch over the language. You can put a guard. See whether he is talking, whether he is talking good, whether he is talking ill. Come on, take a note of it. You can put a security guard. As long as the security guard is there, you will be talking very nicely. You will be using very good language. Is it not? When your father is there, when your dad is watching you, you will be very pious. You will be using very good words. But what about your character when he is not there? When the watch is not there? When the father is not there? You understand? So, you can watch over the language. You can post somebody to watch over the language. You can post somebody to watch over the action. But can you post somebody to watch over the thoughts? Then our actions are monitored, means our thoughts are monitored, our words are monitored, our actions are monitored. Who can monitor? Who is competent enough to monitor all these things at all times, 24/7? All the days, all the hours, all the three things are to be monitored. Who can do? Nobody can do. There is nobody else to do. They are not competent. They are not capable. So, there is only one person who can watch you over, who can monitor your thoughts, who can watch over your thoughts, who can watch over your actions, you can watch over your language and register. Immediately register and immediately make arrangements to get the result of your deeds. Is it not? The deed may be a thought, the deed may be an action, the deed may be a talking, a conversation. You may talk ill of somebody and you make him painful. He may feel painful because of your talk. That is also your deed. You have done something wrong. Then you have to get the result of that. So, what I am trying to tell you is, the Almighty is the only person who is monitoring you, and there should be somebody to monitor your actions, to monitor your language, to monitor your thoughts. Then only you will be suitably rewarded or punished for your deeds. which justifies the existence of Almighty. Unless otherwise there is an Almighty, there is an entity called Almighty. Unless otherwise there is an entity, your actions are not suitably given the yield. Suitable yield. That's the another aspect is very important aspect here. The one aspect we have discussed. Another aspect is to decide what is the amount of yield, what is the quality of yield. Is it not? I have done some action. All actions do not have the same yield. You understand? The same yield will not be given for all actions. Actions will be different, yield will also be different. For the same action, yield will be different. I have done something, X has done something, Y has done the same thing, X has done the same thing, Y also has done the same thing. X and Y will receive the same result? No, not at all. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Then who is to decide the quantity and quality of the yield? Who is to decide? Some has wealth, some has education, some has intelligence, some has a music, skill. Who decides and give all these skills and other aspects of the life? My life is full of qualities. These qualities are decided by whom? So it is decided by the Almighty. Almighty is of course unbiased. He is completely unbiased. And on what basis he is offering the yield? So it is another aspect in Kanma Malam. Our actions are not only monitored, they are suitably given the yield. Suitably given the yield. And the Almighty is the only person who is competent enough, who is efficient enough to decide which action should get which result. So again and again, when we come to the point of these actions, when we do something, we should be sure that whether somebody in this world notice it or doesn't notice it, it doesn't matter, my action will have a result. If I talk something, then I am the owner of the language, I am the owner of the conversation. I have to get the result of it. It will be given to me. If I wound somebody by my talk, if I wound somebody by my action, then I should be ready to get the result of the actions. I cannot go away, I cannot escape, I cannot avoid. Is it not? The court is serving some notice to somebody. Fellows are avoiding. They lock their house and vanish away. Such a cheating cannot be possible with the God, the Almighty. The notice will be served along with the punishment. That is the skill of law. So people should understand all their actions are accounted. So we must account for our action. All are accountable. You cannot do anything, you cannot talk anything. Some people are blabbering something, but they have to take the result of their talk. Result of the talk. So again, we have discussed something in the Kanma Malam. In the last week also we started the discussion of Kanvamalam, and we extended our discussion in this session also about Kanvamalam. In the coming week, that is on 21st, again we will discuss the Kanvamalam, some more important concepts, and the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham boasts itself that no other theory, no other religion has explained in such a logical way the existence of God and how the actions are metered and monitored. And the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham is the only logical explanation for all these things. And we can be proud of our Saiva Sidhdhantham, the philosophy of Saiva Sidhdhantham. And we will thank Mr. and Mrs. Saravanan for the Jnana Yajna. This is only a Jnana Yajna, enlightening our wisdom. So I have to thank them. I also wish all of the people who are listening this session, I am wishing them happy Deepavali. Even though we have crossed the Deepavali day more than 50%, yet it's my privilege, it's my duty to express my Deepavali greetings, to extend my Deepavali greetings to one and all. And let us be sure that God will be always on our side to guard us, to monitor us, to guide us, and also to protect us. He will be always there, and we will always give our prayer every day. We should not forget to offer our prayer to the Almighty, thinking of His help all the time. Thank you. Let me conclude this session with the 5-lettered mantra. I also want you to recite following me. Tiruchitrambalam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Tiruchitrambalam. We are meeting again on 21st at 12 o'clock, and we will continue our discussion on Kanvamalam, the next session also. Thank you. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கு இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.